Back in a time when emissions were not a well-known topic, the automotive industry faced different concerns. A new law compelled German manufacturers to enhance the performance of their trucks, and a bigger engine was the only solution for big power. It was common practice to develop engines with more than 6 cylinders, even in the trucking industry. Mercedes, in cooperation with MAN, did just that in the 1970s, resulting in a series that reached its pinnacle with a V10. Modular engine platform, the Germans devised a scalable architecture capable of powering applications with varying power requirements, from less power-demanding use to heavy-duty trailer pullers. This development was spurred by a mandatory law implemented by the German Ministry of Transport in 1968, which, from 1972, mandated that new long-distance trucks must have 6 kilowatts or 8 horsepower per ton of the entire rig. Yes, the government mandated the creation of larger engines. Daimler-Benz and MAN collaborated on this endeavor as their existing engines did not comply with the new law. While each manufacturer incorporated small changes in the design, the majority of the architecture remained the same. For Mercedes, it meant adopting a new approach to replace the old iron of 1960s straight sixes with 11 liters. This marked the birth of the OM 400 series, a 4-stroke diesel engine with direct injection, signifying a new chapter for Mercedes as a truck engine manufacturer. The engine block angle was set at 90 degrees with wet liners, and basically everything from the head gasket down was shared between both manufacturers. The engine block, crankshaft, flywheel, and inline injection pump location in the V. However, the combustion chamber and head design were specific to each manufacturer. Mercedes introduced fuel injection into the piston cavity, allegedly providing excellent cold start capability as low as minus 15 degrees Celsius. The entire engine is made of cast iron alloy and operates on a 24-volt system. This decision enabled the production of all engines on a single production line, ranging from a 6-cylinder up to the V12. The crankshaft always had a single rod pin for the 2 opposing cylinders, resulting in even firing intervals only for the V8. The V6, while suffering the most from the uneven firing, was relatively lightweight. The V12 was a rare product, reserved for special applications, and uniquely developed in both naturally aspirated and turbocharged states. The first generation featured cylinders measuring 125 by 130 mm, resulting in a 1.6-liter cylinder volume. This allowed a remarkable 32 horsepower per cylinder. Consequently, a standard 40-ton rig would be equipped with a 16-liter V10, while the V6 and V8 variants found common use in the buses and lighter trucks. In 1969, the V10 variant was the pioneer, boasting 320 horsepower at 2500 rpm. It utilized an inline direct injection pump, and the engine's timing was maintained by spur gears. Each cylinder had its own separate cylinder head, with an overhead valve setup with 2 valves. The engine starter had a capacity of 6.5 horsepower. As the time progressed and the competitive landscape evolved, the need for stringent legal enforcement diminished. In 1980, the Germans introduced a new generation of the engine, the OM 420 series. The bore increased by 3 mm and the stroke by 12 mm, elevating the V10's displacement by over 2 liters. The power increased by 20 horsepower to 343 horsepower, with the added option of a twin turbocharged variant. This 18.3-liter engine surpassed 400 horsepower, accompanied by a significant boost in torque. It was MAN that showcased the full potential of the V10 platform. During the 1980s, MAN introduced the F90 truck, seamlessly integrating their cutting-edge engine technology. The twin-turbo V10 exhibited an impressive 460 horsepower during the F90's debut, coupled with a massive torque at a remarkably low rev range. While these figures may not sound extraordinary today, in 1986, the MAN 19462 stood out as one of the most powerful tractor units in Europe. Building on their game of numbers, MAN continued to push boundaries. In the 1990s, the 460 horsepower benchmark was swiftly replaced by the 19.502, boasting an impressive 500 horsepower and a torque of 2700 Nm, nearly 2000 pound-feet. Other manufacturers such as Scania and Volvo also entered the race, producing their 500 horsepower trucks. However, the Germans once again surprised the market. In 1994, the MAN F2000 was unveiled, introducing a remarkable 600 horsepower twin-turbo V10 in 1996. While the torque remained the same, peaking at 1100 to 1450 RPM where the specific fuel consumption is at its lowest, this 600 horsepower variant featured beefier connecting rods and redesigned turbos. Its increased power came at the expense of high weight. It was combined with a 16-speed ZF transmission. The V10 endured well into the 23rd century, meeting Euro 3 emission compliance standards and eventually achieving an impressive 660 horsepower in heavy transport trucking and marine applications. However, today's trucks no longer necessitate such ridiculous engines, as 6-cylinders have proven robust enough to handle 700 horsepower and even higher torque. Notably, the Scania V8 stands out as one of the exceptions, a heritage that Swedish have no interest to give up on. The sheer size and cylinder count remained a remarkable achievement, contributing to an incredibly smooth engine run and a deep rumbling sound level.